Is my screen visible? Yes?
Yes.
What we had seen, okay. What we had seen last time was overloading the plus plus operator. This is called okay. Yes. So the main operation just does this, and we get this the incremented value. The thing is that normally when we use the plus plus operator, we can say that some C3 equals to plus plus C2, where C2 and C3 are both integers or float or something like that. We have generalized this concept to objects. What is like we do something like say, can we do so C2 is 2 here, right? And suppose we want to make C1, so we want to write something like C1 equals to plus plus C2. So it should be something like C3. Let's see. We're getting an error. Okay. So it simply does not work like that because these are objects to begin with. So we will. So basically, this requires what? This requires a return value, right? If we do something like this, then we need a value that is being returned, not something. I mean, here these are void. The functions return. This is not possible in a straightforward manner. So what we can do is, so if we want to return a value that matches C1, which is an object of the class counter, then we must write a function that returns something of the type counter itself. Okay. So we can let me just save this. Okay. Instead of void, we can write. I mean, we don't want it to return. Void returns nothing, but we want to return an object. So we can perhaps do this, and here we will say count is equal to count plus 1. We'll make a temporary object. Because something has to be some object of the counter class has to be returned, right? And now if we do this, let's see what happens. Okay, just 1 second. I think this will not be there. Let me see the error. So match for operator, artifacts of counter and void C. So 59 we are doing.
Sorry,
you are running the wrong program.
Mine? Okay, okay, okay. Sorry. Thanks. Okay, fine. We are okay. Just let me see. This should not matter, or should it? Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. But right, if we do this, then we are in trouble. Yeah. So the same modifications we can do in this one as well. Okay, so this works. Right. So this is how we can have a return value from this from these functions that overload the operator plus plus. And yeah, as you can understand that, so this one, I mean, if you change this to minus minus, same thing. I mean, things are analogous. So yeah, now let's move to binary operations. And okay, so we'll start with so this one was plus plus. All right, so we can start with arithmetic operations. Are okay, fine. Like since we have done plus plus, why not do for plus? All right, so again, plus normally works with this in numerical data types, but we can of course add some extra meaning to it for ourselves. So there was this class that we had seen before, which was basically imperial distances, in feet and inches, and we had defined, and I mean, so imperial distances add up in a weird manner. 12 inches equal to 1 foot, and so on. And we had described an like method to add these distances. So let's revisit, and we can accommodate our own definition as an overloaded meaning of plus. So it was here is our structure. So this is our So this function just its length of user. And there should be one display function. So this one will not do anything. I mean, it will not alter any value. Okay, so and now we will define our addition function. So let's write the definition here, just distance operator, since we'll overload. Plus is overloaded, and so this is now a binary operation. Yeah. So, I'll write the function outside. So some distance is added to D2, which is now, so this new feet, which is F, is feet in the current, I mean, so feet with respect to the current object, right? And this is, this adds feet plus equal feet. Just the first step. Float I is equal to inches plus 2 dot inches, and yeah, so now the conversion from, so in case inches is more than less than, I'm sorry, more than or equal to 12, so there should be a conversion. So if I greater than equal to 12.0, then I is equal to I minus 0, and you can say plus plus, and that is pretty much it. Yeah, we need a return statement. And distance F comma I. So that constructor is also there, which takes 2 values. Okay, so let's give some input through our main. Distance dist1 is 2. Oh, dist2 is already there, no? So yeah, it has to be, yeah, so some values have to be given through that. I'll define this to later. Just 4. Okay. And now I can say take the values for test 1, I will write test 1 get test. And say distance this 2. Okay, this is initialized here, and dist 3 is equal to, I can say now, dist 1 plus dist 2. Okay. So this is the overloaded operator. And so what we can do is, see, this overloading, it can be done multiple times. So we can write this. Test 4 equals test 1 plus test 2 plus test 3. No problem. And cout test 1 equals to test.
Sir,
Yeah.
how do we differentiate between like unary and binary operator? Because for unary operator, you wrote the similar function header, but it worked as on just one argument, but here it is working for two arguments.
Yes, it is similar but not same. So yeah, I'll come back to it. Let me finish. There's some problem here. Just okay. Let me just troubleshoot. Okay. So right, I shouldn't have written like this. Just 1 second. Yeah. So right, not cout show dist. Yes. So I'll end this here. I'll call show dist, and I will cout, and this should compile. Fine. So let me just get rid of all this. So let me make it greater than 1 put here. Okay. So 1. Let me make the inches 7, so that it is 13 point something. Yes, 13, and that is kind of doubled. Yeah, it is doubled exactly. So this is how it works. Okay, it's a good question that you asked. We should see what is the difference in syntax. So this overloads unary operator, and this one, it where is it? Right. This one overloads our binary operator. So yeah, here you have to. The difference is that here you have to, since it is since it is binary, you will have to pass so you have to pass an object, right? So you have to mention the class here. That is the difference. But okay, so let's play around with this for a while. Can I overload plus plus as, I mean, no. So overloading is a bad term. So let's just see what happens. So two things we can do. We can write plus plus here, and we can also delete this. Let's see what happens. Is it being accepted or what? So obviously there will be some errors, etc. If this remains, I will just make this. I mean, I'll just clear this, and so let's see. Let's see what the compiler thinks. Okay. Postfix. So this is saying that postfix distance operator constructor must have int as its argument. Okay. So it relates this particular syntax with the postfix. What do you call postfix declaration. So the compiler is thinking that we must have tried to do like kind of I plus plus as a postfix plus plus operation, but we are making a mistake here that we have written distance instead of its identifying keyword int. Okay, so it says no, you cannot do this. So I mean, the compiler considers this as an erroneously typed postfix operator overload. Okay, so this is the first thing. Now I'd like to just 1 second. Let's remove distance from here. So this will give an I mean, D2 should be eliminated from here. It doesn't make any sense, but this should be, I mean, this should not give any error by itself. Okay, let's see how this is considered. Okay, let's look at the error. So member function distance expected. No. Okay. Syntax error. Now let's see what we get. All right. Okay. Now this function is error free. Oh. So distance operator plus is so it is let's think a while what it is doing here. It is considering plus as overloaded, but this so let's give so let's get rid of this and say int f and let's get pi, right? But let's give constant values. Okay, int f is equal to 10 and this is also 10. Okay, right. Now we can, yes, so now let's so distance is 1. Let's copy from here. Okay, so we have this and let's get this. This gets distance from user. But now if we so now our like binary operation overload will not be there. Okay, just let's see. This thing will be what we have here will compile still fine. Now if we try to do, because now in the definition that we have tweaked, we are not entering a second object. Okay, so this will probably give some error. Okay, it is giving some error. Fine. So now, so this like the overloaded value, overloaded meaning of plus, it has like the overloaded plus operator has become unary. Okay, so we should never do like this, but still we'll find out what happens. This plus, right? Or is it? No, we have given we have not given an int identifier, so this will say it. So this will give some postfix prefix error kind of thing. Yes, so we can do just this. Yes, and now if I want to if I want to output thing here, we have defined just something arbitrary. Since I mean it gives a constant, right? 10 10. No matter what we do, 45 inches, 11. 10 10. Okay, so what we see is that first of all, if we make, I mean if we make this plus plus, then it is considered as I mean it's a problematic postfix declaration, and hence we get an error. But if we remove the distance, I mean if we remove we had written distance here. If we remove that, then it is treated as a unary operator. So to answer your question, I'll say that the difference is that first of all, it is in the declaration you will write while overloading the function that you are overloading. It should be like the intrinsic meaning should be a binary operation, and then the function, I mean the function should be supplied value. I mean the type of argument the function takes should be the object of the particular class for which you are trying to overload the original binary function. Okay. Right. So this was about our binary functions, and of course this also holds for minus and yeah, so subtraction, multiplication, and division also. So now let's look at, one second, please excuse me. Right. So this was about arithmetic operations, binary arithmetic operations. Now we can go to the domain of strings. So we have seen some strings already, C string and string.h, how strings are defined, etc., etc. Yeah, so this is I'll let this be. So concatenation of strings. First, let's go back to our string classes. Just some recap. Oh yeah, we are continuing from that program only. Some of the string classes already here. All right. So this is our standard string class. So there's also something called C string, which basically yeah. So we call C++ like an improvement on C, but the two are different languages. Although most C programs will run as C++ programs also. So C string will let you access the original string class of C. And this is string, or which was earlier known as string.h a few years ago. This is the standard class of strings for C++. All right. So let's see what how to concatenate and as such. Like I can declare string s1 is man, and string s2 beast, and here is our string that will later be used for the concatenation. So let's check once. This is okay. Assignment works like this. S3 is equal to S1, and we can say cout S3 equals S3. Right, this is man. But if we want, so if you want to concatenate, should be S3 is so neither man, neither beast, neither man nor beast is a word. So I can say neither. Which one was man s1. s1 plus mod plus s2. So see out. Oh. And so now what is s2? Waste. Okay. And we have this function also, say s3 dot swap s2. Okay, so this is how the swap function works. And for the string class, this denotes string concatenation. Not so, I mean, this string is quite developed. In C string, you would probably not have this same, like, the same meaning. So, yeah, we will try to create our own concatenation operator. Okay, let's start. Second. It was what's stdio, right? What's the name of the, okay, stdio.h or cstdio? What is the latest thing? Let me see. Okay, this works. These keep changing. So like about 1.5 decades ago, you would have to write iostream.h. Not so now, and this wouldn't be here using namespace standard. All right, so class string, which we are defining, private where did this come from? So size, we'll make it 80, and so character array, just this. Okay, and public string this is our constructor without any arguments. just use a string copy which we get from the string class. I mean this one. Okay, this is our sorry, this has no argument, right? So yeah, we cannot give anything here.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, what enum denotes? You have written enum in private.
Yes, yes, yes. So this value here, it will be 80. Okay, I'm fixing that value using enum.
Okay, sir.
All right. So where was I? Okay, right. And this is our constructor with one argument. And yeah, so we need like printing function, which is void display. Okay. Now our overloaded plus operator, which is basically a concatenation, will be so string operator plus this much we know, and string. So this should be yes, some second string should be there, no? Which will be added to so which will be added to this one. All right. So the second thing should be called SS. Okay. Uh, so we have here is this is our temporary string akin to the temporary object we had created earlier, and if string length str plus string length ss, which is an object, and the string of ss, if it is less than sz, then string of p so this one means that of the this string to temp. And we can say that cat temp dot string, this is dot str. So yeah, and adds the argument string. So this is the case when so we are allowing only up to length 80. So this is basically the concatenation happening, and otherwise we will just give an error. Okay. So Sept. We can exit. For good and return temp. So let's see what this does. String s1 is equal to Merry Christmas. This is string s3, which we'll use for concatenation. All right. S1 dot display. Okay, so some let me troubleshoot here.
Sir, I think we have to give Merry Christmas as argument to S1.
No. So there's some problem in defining the class itself, because yeah, now this is gone. So just okay, C string we have to. So some change has happened. Yeah, so this is saying that string length and This are defined in C string. Okay, so yeah, the two classes are different after all. Let's fine. Yeah, these keep changing. Okay. Now, yeah, what were you saying? What was your observation?
Sir, I said I think we have to give argument Merry Christmas to S1.
S1. But this one uses the second constructor, which is um, just let me see, constructor with one argument. Okay, so
To initiate a constructor, we have to define by giving it brackets, no sir, rather than is equal to.
this one, okay, this one takes it as right. Yes. So no, I think this can be done if we maybe change this a bit. And okay, this is fine. And characters string string copy the right. But can we fix this one somehow? Because otherwise it doesn't remain very natural. Just one second. String s2 is the new year, and so right. Okay, so if I just define this, it remains empty, and otherwise this is string ss. Okay. So, and inside the constructor, this is a character string. So like this. No, I'm making some silly mistake here. Just one second.
Sir, it interprets Merry Christmas. Sir, there is some problem with the like types of the
See,
variables because it is showing can't convert to char star, something like that.
just one second. Okay, for which content to a character? Okay. So this is the syntax of the inbuilt string class. Huh? If I do this, string x is equal to say hello. Right. So this won't work with our inbuilt class. Just a second. there should be a way to this more naturally. This should work with our definition, or nope. This is a character array, no? Mm, 1 second. Character array was defined as this. The one-step declaration of a character array was how? Nope. Not this.
Sir, we have not given arguments for the constructor function, no, sir.
Sorry?
We didn't give any arguments for the constructor function
There
for
are
the constructor.
there are two constructors, and so when I'm making some mistake here. The thing is that if I supply a character array to this, the constructor should accept that. Okay. Yeah. So let's continue with this. It's already past 10. Let's continue with this tomorrow. So some problem is happening here. Some mistake I'm making, which I need to rectify. Which is why but yeah. So one thing is for sure, this with the type of constructor that with this constructor that we have written, cannot just define. We cannot supply like akin to the inbuilt string class. We'll have to do something like this. Yeah, and on that we can later define the overloading.
Sir, maybe it can work if we define a character array and then send the character array into the
Right.
as
Yeah.
an argument.
Yes. It should have something like that. Okay. So let's.
Sir, I have a doubt regarding the doubly linked list which you sent, the code which you sent.